So, you're thinking about making the big move from California to the Lone Star State. Well, you are definitely not alone, and you've come to the right place. Today, we're going to build the ultimate playbook for you, a step-by-step guide to really nail one of the biggest relocations happening in the country right now. Okay, so here's our game plan. We've got 6 key plays to cover. First, we'll look at the big migration itself. Then, we'll dive into mastering your finances, adapting to some wild weather, navigating the business landscape, building your community, and, this is a big one, understanding the property rules. So, first things first, why are so many people packing up and heading to Texas? Let's get right into the why behind this massive trend. I mean, the scale of this is just wow. It's staggering. So if you're feeling like you're the only one, trust me, you're not. In just the last year, over 100,000 Californians made the exact same move. And what's driving this huge shift? Well, 9 times out of 10, it comes down to one thing: money. And this chart right here says it all, doesn't it? The median home price in California is soaring over $800,000. You look over at Texas, and it's basically half that. We're not talking about a small chunk of change. That's a life-altering difference, and it's the engine behind this entire migration. All right, so knowing that finances are key, let's jump into the first play in our playbook: mastering your new financial world. It's way more than just a cheaper house, so let's break down what you really need to know. Okay, this is the showstopper. This is the number that makes everyone's jaw drop. California state income tax can hit a whopping 13.3%. In Texas, zero, nada. For a family making 100 grand a year, that's an extra 8,000 bucks in your pocket right off the bat. That is a huge incentive. But here's the catch, and you really got to pay attention to this part. Yeah, you're going to save on groceries, your utility bills will probably go down, but look at that big slice of the pie right there: property tax. That's the trade-off. See, Texas has to fund its state somehow, and that somewhere is property taxes. This is the variable you absolutely have to plan for. So to get ahead of the game, here are your first 3 moves. First, get a detailed budget going immediately. Second, open a local Texas bank account as soon as you can. And maybe most importantly, talk to a tax advisor who understands this stuff. They'll help you wrap your head around that big shift from income tax to property tax. All right, let's switch gears. For our second play, we're talking about the weather. You're moving to a climate that is on a whole other level from what you're used to back in California. So, you have your earthquake kit all ready to go, right? Well, that's great, but it's not going to do you much good here. Your whole mindset around being prepared has to change. So, what are the new threats on the horizon? You're basically trading concerns about the ground shaking for concerns about the sky. The extreme summer heat, that's a guarantee. But then, depending on where you land, you could be dealing with hurricanes down on the coast or tornadoes further north. It's a whole new ballgame. The good news is, getting prepared is pretty straightforward. Number 1, your AC is not a luxury, it is your best friend. Make sure it's solid. Number 2, build a new emergency kit for power outages: water, non-perishable food, flashlights. And 3, get plugged into local info. Sign up for weather alerts so you know what's coming. The differences don't stop with the weather, not by a long shot. Our third play is all about the business landscape. It's a huge shift that gives you a lot more freedom, but it also puts a lot more responsibility right on your shoulders. This quote just nails it. In California, a lot of things are really guided and regulated for you. In Texas, you're going to find you're in the driver's seat a lot more often. It's on you to do the research and make the smart choice. And here is a perfect example of what I mean: the deregulated energy market. For most Californians, this is a totally new concept. Instead of just one utility company, you've got a whole marketplace of different providers competing for your business. Now, that freedom is a real opportunity to save some cash. The state has an official website where you can actually shop for the best rate and plan. It takes a little homework, sure, but that extra step can directly translate into lower monthly bills. Totally worth it. Moving across the country means leaving your friends, your family, your network, and that can be really tough. So our fourth play is all about how you can proactively build your new Texas tribe. This is so crucial for feeling like you're truly home. People here are really community-focused, so jumping in early is the way to go. Use apps like Meetup to find groups, check out local festivals, get on Nextdoor to meet your neighbors. And for work, get that LinkedIn updated to target Texas's huge tech and energy sectors.
And for our final big play, we're coming full circle back to the single biggest financial difference, your property. You absolutely have to understand these rules if you're going to own a home in Texas.
All right, let's break this down because this is super important. In California, you're probably used to Prop 13, right, where your property tax increases are capped. Well, you can just throw that whole idea out the window in Texas. Here, they reassess your home's value every single year based on the market. Now, the big weapon in your arsenal is the homestead exemption. It can literally save you thousands. But here's the kicker. It's not automatic. You have to apply for it. And hey, remember that wild weather we talked about a few minutes ago? Well, here's where it hits your wallet. Because of the risk of things like hurricanes and hail, you can expect to pay a lot more for homeowners insurance than you're used to. Make sure you budget for it. So there you have it, the essential plays, from finances and weather to business and building a community. That's your playbook for a successful move from California to Texas. We've laid out the whole strategy. I guess the only question left is, are you ready to run the play?